The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge has finally undergone battery testing, and the results are in, courtesy of PhoneArena, who conducted a series of in-depth tests. While the phone has raised eyebrows due to its super slim design and smaller battery, the final numbers tell a story that's not as bad as many feared. Let's dive right in. When Samsung announced the Galaxy S25 Edge with a 3900 mAh battery, it immediately sparked concern. This capacity is even smaller than the 4000 mAh battery in the regular Galaxy S25, which itself has a smaller display. On paper, it seemed like a recipe for poor battery life. But real-world tests tell a more balanced story. According to PhoneArena's battery test results, the Galaxy S25 Edge delivered 6 hours and 22 minutes of estimated screen-on time. While this doesn't break any records, it's not a complete disaster either. For context, the Galaxy S25 scored 7 hours and 6 minutes, the S25 Plus delivered 7 hours and 36 minutes, and the S25 Ultra led the pack with 8 hours. Now let's break it down by individual tests. Web browsing. The S25 Edge clocked in at 16 hours and 40 minutes, which is surprisingly decent. In fact, it slightly beat the average of 16 hours and 23 minutes for other phones tested in the past 2 years. However, it still trailed the Galaxy S25, 18 hours 29 minutes, S25 Plus, 19 hours 4 minutes, and S25 Ultra, 20 hours 49 minutes. YouTube. Video streaming. This is where the S25 Edge showed its limits. It lasted 7 hours and 44 minutes, which is a bit less than the Galaxy S25's 8 hours and 1 minute, and far behind the S25 Ultra's 8 hours and 54 minutes. It also fell short of the average of 10 hours and 8 minutes for phones tested. Gaming. In a more demanding test, the S25 Edge managed 9 hours and 38 minutes, which again is behind its siblings. The Galaxy S25 lasted 12 hours and 20 minutes, the S25 Plus did 13 hours and 31 minutes, and the Ultra topped at 14 hours and 21 minutes. The average here is 10 hours and 10 minutes, so the Edge fell just short. So, what's the verdict? The Galaxy S25 Edge doesn't perform miracles. Its battery life is clearly not on par with the other Galaxy S25 models, especially the Plus and Ultra versions. It also falls behind the regular S25 despite having a lower battery capacity. But it's important to understand why. The S25 Edge is all about style and form factor. Its super slim body leaves less room for a large battery, so Samsung made a trade-off: sleek design in exchange for battery capacity. The big question was whether this compromise would result in terrible real-world performance. Fortunately, the answer is no. Despite the smaller battery, the phone still offers respectable screen-on time in real use. It's not a battery champion, by any means, but it's also not a deal-breaker. Another interesting point: in PhoneArena's overall battery rankings, the Galaxy S25 Edge sits at number 87 for phones tested over the last 2 years. While that's near the bottom, it's not at the bottom. And surprisingly, it still beats a few popular mid-range phones. For example, it beats the iPhone 16e, which scored just 6 hours and 4 minutes. It's also ahead of the Galaxy A35, which came in at 6 hours and 12 minutes, and it performs roughly the same as the Galaxy S24 FE, which got 6 hours and 20 minutes. So yes, the S25 Edge may not impress power users who demand all-day performance, but it should be fine for moderate users who value design and compactness over raw battery numbers. Now let's quickly touch on charging. Unfortunately, charging details are sparse, but what we do know is that the S25 Edge supports 25-watt fast charging. There's no word yet on wireless charging speeds or exact charge times. The charger is also not included in the box, which is now a standard move for Samsung. To sum it up, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge isn't a battery monster, and it never aimed to be one. But if you're someone who wants a premium phone with a stylish, slim design, and you're okay with charging it more frequently, then it may still be a worthy choice. As always, keep in mind that these results come from PhoneArena's controlled tests. Real-world usage will depend on your habits, whether you game a lot, watch videos, or just browse the web occasionally. We've just inserted our SIM into the Galaxy S25 Edge, and we'll be doing more real-life testing in the coming days. So make Sure to stay tuned for our full review and long-term battery life impressions. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our full Galaxy S25 Edge review when it drops. Thanks for watching.